Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well as hit the like button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. Back's feeling much better. So that was like the biggest pain of last week, to be perfectly honest. But healing's coming right, man. Just getting old, need to stretch more, which is the sad part of this whole process. He's like, I'm like, what's wrong with any surgery? He's like, no, you just need to stretch a lot in your life. I was like, all right, bro. Like I'll start doing that more. But everything else good, bro. Roof is fixed. Didn't cost me an arm and a leg, thank God. So, you know, if it has to get knocked down, hopefully a hurricane comes and just knocks that shit down. So like all I have to pay is like a deductible and then it's like a free roof. So
right.
This is the weird shit you have to worry about, bro, of homeownership. Like it's just like it's so random, bro. Like it's just like I never like when I first like saw my life in the 30s, I was like, I'm not gonna be worried about this shit. But here we are.
I mean, it's a gift and a curse, but I think way more a gift.
It's way more a gift, bro. Like I don't want to like put things out in the universe, anyone think negatively, but like I have like, dude, like you start realizing stuff about like how the rich get richer and like little things that kind of like start happening in your own life, like knock on wood, if you're in a good position, like which you obviously all striving to be like, then you realize like, oh, because of the equity in this house, I can now buy another house and then make equity off that house. And like, you know, like that essentially is like the American dream, like just wealth creating wealth. And it's like, oh, fuck, dude, like, okay. But like, obviously a lot of things need to happen before that. So it's pretty wild though, like when you think about it, because like a parent could just give that to their child and that kid is like, that's my goal, right? Like I want to give this house to whatever kid I have first. Like, yo, this is your house. You never have to worry about a mortgage. You're good for life. And like, that's just wild to think about. Like, because when you're in your 20s, like, bro, like, why would I ever want to do that? Like, I don't want to deal with a pest control guy every Monday, you know what I mean? Like, the most random as shit. So it's interesting to like once you're in it.
For sure. Yeah, I know. It's like, I feel like a lot of super wealthy people like forget how difficult it is to build wealth because a lot of those kids, like they grow up, they don't really have to focus on, I mean, they're still working hard. Maybe they start a business or whatever, but like their dad gives them $5 million or what have you. So you do begin to realize how much being wealthy puts you ahead, especially even with stocks. For instance, if you put in $500 into Tesla, it'll take you fucking forever to like have real wealth. But if you have 200,000 sitting around, you throw that in Tesla, like that shit could be $1 million like by the end of the week.
Yo, ridiculous. Right. And that's why I think like not to be political, but like go back to like when like they wanted like Trump to share his like tax returns or whatever. And they started questioning like how he like obtained his wealth. He's like, well, my dad only gave me a loan of $1 million. I'm like, bro, a loan of $1 million in the 60s, bro? Like that's like
oh, I forgot about that context too. I'm thinking like $1 million in this day and age, which is still pretty good chunk.
Dude, you got a leg up in life, bro. But $1 million in the late 60s, early 70s, bro? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
right. Yeah, shit's crazy.
Yeah, but all good things, bro. All good problems we currently have. And my back's on the mend. So I'm out to Italy in exactly like 2 weeks, bro. So yeah, man, just glad. Yeah, dude, I had to get like, this shit just made me sound very old. But I guess like my foot is, I think a lot of tall people actually have this issue, but I guess my foot is as close to being flat-footed without being flat-footed. So like I was already, every time I take a step, I put too much pressure on my lower back. That's why my shit got all fucked up. So I had to get like fucking orthopedic insoles.
Like the arches or whatever?
The what? Like the Dr. Soles. Yeah, exactly. The artificial arch. Exactly, dude. But like, yo, that shit cost me $300. Damn. I was like, yeah, bro. Like, I was like, damn, this shit is just getting old is expensive, man. So, but luckily I'm going to have those walking around Italy though. Cause Italy is Europe is just walking around for hours on end, bro. So I'm like, bro, I can't be collapsing midway through the day on day 3 or some shit. So yeah. So getting ready for that, excited. But how about you, bro? How's LA been? How was, I'm assuming you spent Father's Day with your dad since you were like local?
Yeah. LA has been good. Basically, like as soon as I arrived, it's been nonstop, like partying Thursday through, not Sunday, but Thursday through Saturday.
Which is still 3 nights sounds exhausting.
It was exhausting as shit. And like, I didn't really plan a lot of it. Like I had planned with several friends in advance to go out Friday, but it just so happened my brother knew some event that was taking place, which is a dope little bar, different kind of scene than what I'm used to. Like they didn't play top 40 shit. It was like they played Afrobeat and like,
oh, nice.
I feel like that scene is a lot tamer, less crowded, less ratchet. So it was good to like ease into that. And then Danny, who went on the bachelor party trip, he invited us to some late ass after hours spot. This shit looked like a scene out of Blade. Like there's just smoke everywhere, like fucking flashing lights. I forget if I sent it in the chat, but it was just straight up techno music. Everyone in there looked depressed as a motherfucker. And I was happy.
Dude, reminded me, did you ever go to Space when you came to visit Sarah?
Space? No, I don't think so.
So dude, it's like a 24-hour nightclub as well, but they have like a the upstairs is like the non-stop one. Like, bro, so people stay there till 7 a.m. to see the sunrise because they open the ceiling. But like people's faces there are just like they're dying. I'm like, bro, this doesn't even look fun. Like, right. Why are you here to so late?
I didn't see one smile in there. If anything, I was like pretty excited because I had never been to a spot like that. And even though it's not really my scene, it was just cool to experience something different. But everyone in there looked depressed as shit, which was interesting.
Damn.
But I mean, the next couple of days hung out at different bars, went to like a crazy reggaeton day party thing, ended it off at a club in Hollywood, which was a little superficial for my taste, but really good music all around. So now this week that work has started, I'm just kind of detoxing. I'm still at my dad's house. We just went to dinner, kept it simple, and just been kind of recovering ever since.
Nice. Is this your because I know you haven't been in LA like properly for a minute. Like, how do you take like your thoughts on LA in general? Because obviously there's been like wild shit about LA being fucking purged, 2.0, like ran like all like since like the inflation and COVID and stuff. So like you just being like literally outside now for the first time in a couple of years. Like, how did it feel?
It feels really good. I think mostly just seeing the people that I haven't seen in a minute. Some of them like for 8 months, I feel like, unless they went to the wedding. But in terms of just like the vibe of LA, I haven't really felt like that purge feeling, or at least I feel similarly in San Francisco because it kind of goes on there too. But even my brother was saying people are out posing, like literally posing as Amazon drivers with vests and shit, like just robbing packages, cars getting broken into. So I feel like it's kind of just a standard California thing at this point, but
which is awful.
Yeah, it's awful. Like I would have never guessed it would be this way. Gas prices are through the fucking roof. That shit has me wanting to consider robbing somebody at this point. It was like $20 to go like a mile.
Bro, I was just talking about, and what is it? Is it up to $7 yet by you?
Yeah, it's pretty much $7. Some spots are a little cheaper, but yeah.
Yeah,
like
so luckily, I don't know why, dude, but in Florida, we're at 4.7 to 4.9. Like we haven't hit $5 yet. But bro, even that price has me like, yo, like I was gonna hit up a buddy to go to Miami Beach. I was like, I don't know, bro. Like I don't think we're that close to justify $8 in fucking gas to go see you. So yeah, it's just wild times, bro.
Yeah, it's nuts. And weirdly enough, I feel like my flight and Ubers haven't taken into account the increase in gas prices. Like Ubers weird. Are still like
especially the Uber ones. Like the Ubers, like I've been in a couple lifts and like the prices are kind of the same. I'm like, how the fuck is this possible? Like,
right. So maybe time will tell. But other than that, it's been chill being back. This is a really like the longest, I guess, I've been away from San Francisco since I moved. So I'm here for 2 whole weeks, aka another whole week. So
nice.
That's been good.
So 2 full weekends too.
Yeah. I mean, wifey hates me because she's bored out of her mind, but
she had the fucking Warriors parade outside her window last night.
But she was pissed because it took her like an extra hour to get to work, and she wasn't even driving, like just walking through this shit and taking the BART to get there and stuff. Took her 5 times as long.
Yeah, but I feel like that's some shit your boss has to be like, we get it. Like, you're not lying. Yeah. Like, I'm like, put on the fucking TV. Like, so that's where I try to get through. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny, dude. All right, bro. I'm glad the trip's going well. You got some time with dad as well. So, all right, shout out to all the dads that had a good Father's Day. But let's get into it, bro. I guess the latest and greatest with us. Obviously, we had the Johan Lenox interview part 2 last week. So, your thoughts on it? Overarching themes, if anyone didn't get a chance to catch it yet.
Yeah, I thought the interview was super dope. Felt like we never kind of left off that long ago. We kind of delved straight back into the conversation. Obviously a super chill dude, and he's just always doing really interesting things, but super humble at the same time. Doesn't really sugarcoat or bullshit. Sounds like he just really wants control of his career and the art, and is only doing it for that reason. So I can't see any way how the cards wouldn't be in his favor. Like, he has a lot of contacts. His music's, I think, objectively great, and he seems like someone who just knows how to build good relationships. So that was a super dope conversation to catch up on.
Yeah, I would say, echo all that, dude. It was very intriguing how it felt like just 3 like friends catching up, like, but those friends, like, you don't have to speak to each other for like 9 months to a year. Yeah. But then you just like jump right back into it. It's like you guys haven't stopped hanging out. So that was cool because we don't really know this guy from anybody. So just a couple combos, and obviously emailing his manager back and forth. So yeah, man, shout out to him for showing love. Like even like when we spoke to him offline about the idea of us doing this in person at one of the shows, like in the back in the green room, was a dope idea. Yeah. But dude, I wanted to explore something he said, which again I agree with, and the idea of it kind of leads into what Drake just did with this most recent project. So, but when he was talking about what he's doing with his current music now is really a way to eventually get everyone back into like, or show people what symphony music really is, right? Like that concept. Mm-hmm. So is it different though? Like, which again, I love, which again, like Kanye did it, Drake did it. So I'm not against it. But like, isn't like those views sometime where like make like maybe haters or people who are skeptical about like people coming into hip hop, coming into the culture, then just leaving for their own like incentive to like drag people out, like not drag, like, but take fans with them. Like, isn't that like somewhat culture vulture-ish? Like the idea of it. Again, I don't think he's doing that, but just a general premise of like, yo, I'm going to do hip hop to make people like me, but then I'm gonna stop just for and then do symphony music. I don't know, like just like when I was like replaying the entire interview in my head, I was like, oh, that dude, like I feel like we kind of criticized like Post Malone with that a little bit. Like, oh, you came in with the cornrows and talking about hip hop, and then you're randomly an acoustic guitar player, and like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I don't know, I just wanted to like, pick your brain about that.
Yeah. That's an interesting take. I feel like it's always tricky because it's only natural to like want to box people into whatever initially makes them popular, and then when they stray away, people lose their shit.
Yeah.
But I feel like as long as the symphony orchestral stuff is a big piece of it now,
which clearly it is.
Clearly it is. So I don't know if people down the road could necessarily make that claim. Also, I don't feel like he's strayed too far into like any genre really. Like it's not like Post Malone where he's rocking. I think it was different with him because he was rocking cornrows. He had gold teeth. He was like basically doing rap, whereas Johan's kind of just extracting from everywhere and making. I think he even is fine with calling it pop. Some people hate that term because it sounds like
but he even said, he's like, yo, I'm trying to make pop bangers. You know what I mean? Like,
so I think for him, probably not so much, so long as he's still doing that stuff in his music now and isn't like changing his image drastically down the road. But I could see if it goes from this to like straight up only symphony type stuff, I could see his original fans,
well, the fans who fell in love with him because of this kind of music, as opposed to like his original fans from him doing like because clearly he comes from symphony,
right?
Like Like, so we like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we spoke to him about this from the first episode. Like, again, he fell in love with hip hop through an experience listening to Kanye, and then like was enamored. So he tried it. I get it. Like, but like, I was just wondering from like a casual fan who came across one of his new popular songs, and then a year and a half later, you go to his next album and it's all symphony stuff. You're like, the fuck's going on? Like, yeah,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. And I guess it really depends on, I feel like, I know that's a forbidden or a word that automatically makes people like shy away from it, culture vulture. I feel like it's mainly like a hardcore hip hop term.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen people use it with pop so much, but I do think if he were to tap in and like, let's say, had an album that was just like Young Thug, Travis, and all these other people on it, then
it's all that's a great point, dude. Like, it's the baby features. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, bro, what are we doing here?
Right.
For sure, dude. Like, because it's not, this body of work is still very much like eclectic. Like, it's almost even too hard to put a genre on it. But obviously we know from the interview and just like the trap theme to some of his songs, you know what I mean? Like, we know he's trying to make it hip hop, but like that's not who he is. So that's obviously, it's never going to sound like a Gunna track or something. Yeah.
And I don't know if I heard him on one of the rappers that I really like, Eli Sostre. I think he brought up, they released his song last week, and the sound of that wasn't even like traditional hip hop. Whereas I feel like people like, let's say, Post Malone, even though I don't think he and Johan are similar really in any way. I feel like Post Malone was like on straight up hip hop beats, and like with the hip hop dudes doing hip hop melodic shit, and then all of a sudden went like the rock direction.
Right. But then you start hearing interviews and you're like, oh, that's who he always was.
Right.
So it's like, which one kind of came first? Kind of a thing. Whereas like with Johan, again, we have the privilege of speaking to him for 4 hours, like, or 3 hours combined now. Like, we have more context, but I was thinking like the general, to his point, like, you're not like, not all your fans are day one fans. They only really catch on when the rest of everyone catches on. To then, in 2024, we do the follow-up or whatever, it's just a symphony orchestra kind of a thing. So that's I was wondering. But yeah, dude, like, I think he's the furthest thing from it, because again, he's just been so honest about his approach. Right? I think the Post Malones and whoever, bro, like, you can just tell. It's like, bro, like, you don't really fuck with this shit, bro. Like, you make it sound great, but we know you don't fuck with this. So yeah, I think what's gonna always help his case, besides us speaking on his behalf, is just like, he was so honest. He's like, bro, like, this is not who I am. Like, I'm a child prodigy. You know what I mean? Like, like, this is something that came into my life. I really enjoy doing it, but I'm really gonna try to get back to my roots at some point. For sure. And I think that you could even find like parallels with, I don't know, let's say the podcast or something. Like, what if, our niche is music, and then we find like the red pill shit. For whatever reason, people want to hear us talk about it, and then we start talking about that more, and then our original fans get upset. That's a great point. When the red pill stuff grows, then we're like, no, we didn't really like this shit that much, but we're gonna go back to music, and then they get pissed. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just like, well, what are we feeling at the time, and what's working? And I don't know. I feel like it's really up to the artist to figure out the direction. As long as they're honest with it, then I don't really see it. Yeah, I feel like honesty is key. Like, if it's completely transparent of like, hey, this is why I'm doing this, then like, yeah, that's a fair point though. Yeah. Because I feel like even Flagrant went through that, because they were like a sports podcast completely. And like, dude, they don't talk about sports at all. Right. I know. I wasn't even into them like in the early stages. I was like, I mean, I like Schultz and them, but like the content wasn't really for me. Right. And then once they started just talking about basically anything in the media, then I was like locked in. Yeah. Facts. I saw the one, shout out to them. I saw the one with the guy from Barstool today. Dude, it's good. It was good. It was just odd though, because like, I feel like a lot of people are still getting used to like what that setup is meant to be. Right. You know what I mean? Like, are we on a TV show, or like, or is it the podcast kind of thing? Yeah. But But yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, that was a great point, bro. Because yeah, we could do the same thing and pivot to like just political issues. It's like, yo, what the fuck you guys doing? You used to talk to artists, every other month. Like, well, how did we get to this? So,
right.
Cool. But yeah, shout out to him. If you guys haven't peeped it yet, go peep the Johan Lenox interview part 2. Peep part 1 as well. And I know he's pretty much said he has a massive second half of the year that he's planning out right now. So, exciting more stuff to come. All right, bro, before we get into the big debate, because I'm really excited for everyone to hear this, because it's the first time that I really think that me and Blair are completely opposite views. But before we get into that, shout out to our sponsors at Fear. If you have anything you have anxiety about, big presentation, big meeting, want to break up with your boyfriend or girlfriend and don't know how, people at Fear have been helping people overcome their fears for over 20 years. Use the promo code in the link below, audio-theory, to get a discount. That's audio-theory, and it will help you out. Shout out to our good people at Fear.
Shout out to Fear.
Awesome, bro. All right, so honestly, Nevermind, Drake's 7th studio album. I guess technically his first album on his new record deal, which is meant to be close to over $500 million. So it's been Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, 5 full business days. How do you feel?
Yeah.
After?
So full disclosure, I was super lit when I first listened to it. So I need to stop drinking and streaming and then giving my opinion.
Yo, because you were like, fuck this.
Yeah. I think in the moment, since I was in that like late after party thing, I was like, the last thing I need is more electronic shit on the way home. I don't know. The cover art just kind of threw me off. I love the cover art, but it seemed like some dark, like Memphis trap shit, like based on
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
So I was kind of confused there, but I would say on the second listen, I enjoyed it more than the first one for sure.
I came here ready to fucking knock you out with some facts, bro.
No, I'm like a avid house listener. I don't know like that many big artists, but I have like a house playlist that I keep for that vibe. I think for me, the thing that threw me off was a lot of people saying like how experimental this was, because I don't even think he went that far off from like some of the shit he's done. Of course, some of the songs like Massive are like clearly house, but like several of the songs sounded kind of like Afrobeat stuff he's done.
Yeah, it could have been dance hall. Yeah,
it could have been like dance hall. So I don't think that's my gripe. Isn't even that he tried something new, or like I don't even think this is that weird in my opinion, based on what some people are saying online.
Okay.
I think for me, just overall, it's felt like a watered down attempt. I think it was vibey, but I think it was like passable. Like if I heard it at a lounge with wine in my hand, I would for a fact enjoy it. But I guess after listening to it, I just didn't see this being like something that most people would recall like a year from now. And I think similar to like what we said about like Cordae and J. Cole, I feel like The Weeknd perhaps could have done this stronger, even though I can't claim to be the biggest Weeknd fan. I think in some parts the vocals seem kind of offbeat, or it's just like there wasn't melodies that were super catchy. It just felt like a vibe, but nothing said to me, oh my God, like this was deserving of being a studio album. It seemed like something that could have been more like demo Dark Lane tapes or whatever.
Yeah, Dark Lane
kind
tapes.
Of just like a project,
just like a playlist.
Vibe out. Yeah, like a playlist vibe out. I'm doing something different. Who cares if you like house or not? But some people do. Check it out. It just seemed, I think the rollout and everything was kind of threw me for a loop.
I got you. And dude, this is not to say you're you were, because a lot of people got thrown for a loop. It's not just like Blair specific. Like everyone tuned in thinking like, yo, he got to come correct after CLB, blah, blah, blah. So dude, the only reason, again, I'm not special, bro. The only reason I had a 75% inkling that it was going to be a house record before I heard 1 second or like before it dropped at midnight, is because, bro, on the back cover, it said executive produced by Black Coffee. And then I just seen Black Coffee in Coachella, and I like firsthand, I know like, yo, that shit is house, like Ibiza house. So I was like, yo, like this, I didn't think it'd be fucking 13 tracks of it, but I knew like, yo, there's gonna be at least some kind of, because you don't just put Black Coffee's name there just, you know what I mean? Like that, if you're gonna pay for his production level, like you're gonna have a lot of songs produced by him. So that's like the only reason why I was leaning towards that way. So I honestly went into it like not expecting any hip hop. Like just, I figured R&B and like house. The fact that again, it was 13 house songs and one good hip hop song with 21 Savage, which was fire. Bro, I loved it, bro. And like, I like genuinely loved it because, bro, I go back to Black Coffee again. That was an experience for me. So I already have that, recency bias of like we talking about with Baby Keem, like going to see someone live and properly taking a genre of music in makes you really more of a fucking diehard fan of something, bro. So production quality, I was sold. And then I was telling you when they dropped like 3 months ago, maybe, like, yo, the Diplo album that he recently dropped, dude, this reminded me of that. Right. Very good hip house production. But dude, the majority of these house songs have like throwaway artists on the tracks, right? Like an artist you never heard of singing on a beat and really just like hurrying up their flow so the beat can drop and then people lose their fucking minds, right? Like that's the majority, not to be insulting to anyone who's listening to like an avid house listener, but like that's the majority of what these songs are, right? The fact that we have Drake actually spitting lyrics on these fucking beats is like something we should really be fucking grateful for. Cause like, yo, you don't get that on house production. You get a fire beat, a pretty catchy hook, and then it's just a beat for like, if the song's 3.5 minutes, the beat's 3 minutes and 12 seconds. You know what I mean? Like that's the song. So I think we should be fucking grateful, to be fucking honest, bro. Especially like, dude, people like were like, yo, I'm so like disappointed. This is fucking trash. Like, bro, my timeline was all that Friday and Saturday, bro. I'm like, bro, he announces on Thursday. So how are you so disappointed? Like, you've only known about this for 4 hours. So, bro, like, that's another. I'm like, bro, like, how are you mad? Like, bro, you got an album. You don't like it? Don't listen to it. But I really think, bro, like, this is gonna age very well, especially going into a summer that after 2 years, everyone wants to be vibing outside. So, bro, this is going to be like, yo, I already have a couple buddies who I follow who are DJs down here in Miami and just like rolling their eyes with the amount of fucking requests they're going to get for like 3 or 4 of these songs. Like, yo, all right, bro, let me play something else before I play that. I can't keep playing it. So, I don't know, bro. I feel like this one's going to age very well. And then just as a side note, bro, we gave him so much shit for doing same Drake shit on CLB. So, bro, if anything, even if you still hate this shit, we got to give him credit for taking a chance, especially a month after Kendrick drops that classic. Like, yo, this is him just saying, bro, this is what I'm doing for this project. I hope you like it. And if you don't, then never mind, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it is what it is, bro. Like, I feel like he's reached a level you would think of just like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, why should I care what you think? Like, dude, I'm gonna put whatever I want out. I feel like, bro, he knows legacy, bro. Like, he's not gonna put something out if he genuinely doesn't think it's good. So.
So on the note of, I do agree that people complaining he's trying something different. It's kind of odd considering that was the biggest criticism.
That was the biggest criticism, bro. They were like, I mean, I think one of the guys from the Button podcast, was it Rory Mall? Is that the guys who left?
Rory Mall, yeah.
So like they were talking about how like this sounded like someone trying to copy a Drake album, like the old CLB album. And it's like, bro, like this is a complete risk if we're gonna really say that. So you gotta give him kudos for that.
Yeah. I personally still feel like this album wasn't so different to the point where I'm like, Drake is getting way out of his comfort zone. Cause I feel like his melodic flow is just like, it kind of works with so many different genres. Like, it'd just be hard. It'd be like if Vince Staples was on some house shit or something, I'd probably be like, what the fuck is going on right now? But I think he actually might have a house song now that I think about it. But I think for me, the production, like it didn't have the same build-ups and stuff that that I'm accustomed to hearing from the random house songs that that I really like. I'm personally not too sure if 2 years from now, like it'll really sound that groundbreaking. Maybe like at that point, this sound will be more
like prevalent,
common,
like more people
prevalent within the industry. And at that point, we can say like, oh, Drake like kickstarted this route. But I feel like in Drake's world, he's kind of just like mastered everything. He's like, what can I do next? I don't know if he even is like as confident in saying like this is gonna create a stamp within the house genre and like change the game. I feel like he's just like, I'm good. Like this is not trash. This is some shit I want to do, and people are gonna fuck with it, especially because of who he is. I don't think it's trash, but I feel like he just knows his name.
Yeah,
he's gonna bring a lot to it, and then, I mean, it is a vibe. I just don't know if it'll really have like an impact on the genre, since I feel like there's so much else out there that technically involves stronger production.
Yeah, but I think that also, like, so for example, when we heard that banger, was it not First Dance? The song with him and Wizkid?
I know what you're talking about. Let me look it up. When did that one come out again?
2017? No, 2016.
Uh-huh.
It was on Views.
Drake.
Is it Dance?
Come Closer?
No. It's something Dance.
Oh, One Dance. Yeah,
One Dance. There you go. One Dance. Yeah. When that sound came out, right, we were thinking, yo, what is this, bro? Like, it's good. But like, that was just an Afro beat that people who love that music have been fucking with forever, right? It wasn't like groundbreaking for them, but it was groundbreaking in the sense that it opened our fucking ears, and that was a floodgate for all these other dancehall Afrobeat, production and artists that now Wizkid is a staple in American pop music, right? Now Thames is a staple, bro. Like, you want to have a banger, you go get them. You know what I mean? And I feel like that comes from Drake, right? Like opening the wave. Like, again, house music already is a staple in American culture and pop. But again, bro, it really hasn't been since like Avicii though. Like, if we're being perfectly fucking honest, like no one's like even like Major Lazer, they're really more like dance hall with house influences. Like, it's not just pure fucking house music. So I feel like this could open the floodgates, bro. Like, there was a joke that the dude from Selection posted, like, dude, I went to the studio and everyone's trying to make a house beat now. You know what I mean? Like, but that's a fact. Like, people are gonna try to get on this wave, bro. But yeah, man, I just think like I don't know if it's groundbreaking. I also think there's like also like the same, like when you put me onto like lo-fi and hi-fi, like hip hop music, there's like so many sub-genres in house. Like, I saw some comments, I think on YouTube, that was like, this is like deep house, where like it's not about the buildup, it's about the continuous beat and then like the light production. Like, I kept thinking about him performing this shit live, like in a dark setting with the fucking lights show. Like, that's gonna be a fucking even more of a vibe, right? So yeah, bro, I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But again, I'm always looking for a dope house beat that has some relative lyrics that can make me enjoy it, right? So, dude, I played the Diplo Miguel song Forever, right? Like, I did anytime someone came over to smoke or drink wine, I'm like, bro, I'm playing this album over and over again and deal with it. Bro, my girl gave me shit because the album dropped Friday. I listened to it a couple times before we hung out Saturday night. And she's like, how do you know the lyrics already? And she's like, I'm like, well, I went to see my friends. I played on the way there. I played on the way back. She's like, you've listened to this 5 times in 2 days? Like, bro, but it's just honestly, like, it's just a vibe, bro. Especially like, dude, it's officially the first day of summer now. Like, summer's here, bro. Like, you just want to be outside having a good time, not worried about anything. And I feel like that's what this music is. Yeah.
And it just made me wonder, like, or not wonder, but it's just so interesting how the context of the music that that's released can like affect the listening experience. Because even like when I'm in a bad mood, let's say, or want to be in a more peaceful mood, like I'll listen to this. But it just so happened when I was first listening to it, I didn't want to listen to it. And then when I wanted music like it, I was like, oh shit, like I actually really do like this song. I think the other thing too is I'm so used to him being like the super catchy, quotable dude. And I read somewhere that like 25% of the songs like are just, or the album is like pure outros or something like that.
Okay.
And then even in the midst of the songs, I didn't hear those stereotypical catchy moments that I feel like even he had in One Dance and Controlla and stuff.
Yeah.
Some of these artists maybe couldn't do, and that's why he like made those beats feel more full and exciting. Whereas with this, it felt more like a listening experience.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like because this album's going to keep growing on us, I feel like those bars are there. And we just like, our ears need to get used to it to like properly pick it up. And I think all of us, even me, who's been a mega fan of this shit since the drop on Friday, like I'm still just vibing out to it, not really paying attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I think I know there's bars there, bro. Like the one song about like text go green, I know there's some fucking lyrics there that if you're sad about your fucking person no longer being in your life and like that shit hit you hard. But like I'm just vibing because the beat's so fire. I'm like, I'm not worried about that sad shit right now. Yeah. So like I know they're there, bro. I just think right now, like our ears are just like, bro, how did you just drop a different album 8 months ago? Now we're here. You know what I mean?
Can you paint a picture of what your scenery was like when you first listened to it? Because in my mind, when I first listened to it, I was like, I know he's gonna love this album because I already picture exactly what his setup's gonna look like.
Oh yeah, dude. So we got new. So since you left, and I'm trying to give you guys a picture of my house, the outdoor setup. So, dude, lights around the backyard. We put lights up the palm tree. So, which like literally go with the music, which is fire. And then, dude, a full joint in one hand and a glass of expensive red wine in the other, bro. And just fucking like, yo, my girl was trying to have a conversation. Like, I was just like,
that's exactly what I pictured was gonna happen. I'm like, as soon as I heard the first like 3 songs, I'm like, this is a wine joint backyard in Florida
100%.
album. There's no way he's
100%.
not gonna like this shit.
There's no way I was gonna like it, bro. And like now that I do, so for my aunt's birthday, hopefully all this shit works out. When we're in Italy, we booked a boat. I'm like, bro, I'm playing this only on the boat. Like, you have requests. If it's not this, it's not happening, bro. So I don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just vibe music, bro. But I think for the quotable bars, because again, we made this joke about like Jack and him, like they're always in it for the captions. I guarantee a bunch of girls are going to start having like his lyrics in their captions like in the next week or so, because I think everyone's just more thrown off by the type of song as opposed to what he's actually saying. Right.
And speaking of culture vultures, I don't think he's necessarily doing that, but I feel like people are kind of turned off by his constant like seeking of the next sound or new sound. At least like the entitled fans who are like, oh, I know what Real House is, or I know what UK.
Right. So it's not his fan. It's more like the fans of that new genre that he's like taking over, or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's tough too when you're basically spend like the first 6 years or whatever of your career spinning bars like talking shit about how you're the best MC ever or whatever, and then people are just always gonna expect you to like release something that's tied to that. So I think some of the hip-hop fans in general are just
bro, I got a couple hip-hop like diehard fans from like my time in Charlotte, and they're fucking pissed. It's like, yo, what is this garbage? How the fuck did we allow this? I'm like, bro, like you just found out an hour ago this was dropping. Like, how are you this mad?
Yeah, it's because we don't have like really good hip-hop coming out lately that I can.
Dude, but I feel bad though, because apparently there was a good was it West Side? Is it West Side?
Oh, West Side Boogie.
I heard that album. I mean, I haven't heard it yet because I've been literally only listening to this, but I'll bring it up next week. Like, I heard that album is getting phenomenal like reviews from like hip hop heads.
Yeah, I've only heard a couple songs from it so far, but it's definitely one to look out for.
Yeah. So I'll do a better job of listening to anything else this coming week. But yeah, man. Again, kudos to him. Again, I'm sure diehard fans of the genres that he like this genre, like maybe they don't love it, but also, bro, like he's getting the like he's getting the top producers in those genres to jump on this thing, bro. So it's like at the end of the day, it's almost like when he puts his arm around like Lil Baby when Lil Baby's no one. These guys are doing that to him, bro. Again, once I saw Black Coffee on that fucking like executive producer, I was like, bro, there's no way this is not going to be anything but good production. So, yeah. And I still feel that way listening it for 7-8 spins and stuff. So, go check it out. Honestly, Nevermind. Let us know in the comment section what you think.
Oh, what would you rate it as like a final? At least at this point in time.
Out of 10?
Either out of 10 or a grade. I forget what we normally do, but
we do grades. Yeah, dude, I'm gonna give it. I won't give it an A+, but I'll give it an A.
Ooh, that's strong.
That's super strong, bro.
For me, I'd probably say B-.
That's high, bro. Dog, I swear to God, I thought this was gonna be the one where people like start picking sides, like who they like the most between you and I, like on the podcast.
No, I hated this shit when I first listened to it, and then I was like, all right, at least it's not like the same generic thing we've been getting forever. I think it was more so it just seemed like he's not the best. If we're gonna take like a mainstream person to bring this sound and make it more mainstream, I don't know if he's did his best attempt.
That's fair. Yeah, but like, I think what you were saying, like your setting really determines like how you're gonna interpret music. You know what I mean? Like
especially the cover art. I was like, this motherfucker's gonna get evil. Like it looked like something Juicy J would like make.
No, dude, 100%, which is why that song with 21 Savage makes so much sense if that's what you were going in for.
Yeah.
But I felt that was just like, bro, I'll give you guys a hip hop song, like relax, like here you go. Like,
yeah.
All right, bet.
Maybe
yeah,
C+. I don't know.
Damn, C+.
Depends. I listened to it and I added more songs. I had like 4 or 5 songs on my house playlist. So I was like, if I did that, it can't be that bad.
It can't be that bad.
Yeah.
And like, yo, I can already see like certain like, if we were like in Greece or some shit or like at some club in like Mykonos, like that song with like, where the beat drops and it's like, your pussy is calling. Yo, I can already see everyone losing their mind to that shit, bro. Like, so. Which again, that's probably the corniest part of that entire album. Yeah. But it's just like he knows, bro. He knows what's gonna push people's buttons either way, bro. He's not stupid, dog. Like, like I feel like the first thing he said when this album came out was like, "Yo, you guys aren't on this. It's not. I don't care anymore." Like, I believe him though.
But like, now I'm like, I wonder if that's a deflection in case because people are gonna talk shit. So it's like you don't get it or you're not gonna get it seems like an easier way to seem unbothered, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I get it. But I feel like this is also, I can totally see someone with the lifestyle that he gives us the vibe that he lives. Mm-hmm. I feel like this is the kind of music he probably is vibing to when he's in fucking Turks and Caicos or whatever fucking island for 4 or 5 days. You know what I mean? So beyond
this regular rap shit.
Yeah, dude, he's not bumping fucking Benny the Butcher when he's relaxing on the beach. That's a fact, bro. So like this makes more sense, bro. Like with that lifestyle, like, bro, like jet setting, these clubs in these different European cities don't play hip hop like that. So he's getting exposed to this shit. Like, I know, man, it all kind of makes sense. But that's why for me, like, it wasn't so left field. I'm like, bro, you should have been doing this like maybe like a couple years ago, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think that's why I'm so confused why people are thinking this is some like weird futuristic shit that like he's never kind of done before. Like even Take Care with Rihanna from that album, like minus the piano and shit, sounds like it. I literally sped up Marvin's Room on YouTube like 1.5 times and it sounds like it could have been on this shit. So I'm like, the people making it seem like he's making alien music, I feel like are just so used to the rap shit that he's done that this is just kind of weird to hear.
But I think it goes to Johan's point. It's like especially for someone at this level of stardom, him being Drake, it's like, it also depends when your new fan base joined you, right?
Yeah.
Because like, if you're a newer fan and like God's Plan is the song that dragged you in, to go from God's Plan to Massive is no pun intended, a massive jump in like what your ears are listening to. So it really may be just depend when you became like a Drake stan or Drake, bandwagoner, because like I can see how like that stuff is very different to what he's doing on this album.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it feels like at this point in time, we've already talked about Post, Drake, Kendrick, Kanye. Like once they reach that point, it's almost like they have no choice but to do something different. Because I imagine it would get boring as fuck too. So I think they do have to kind of put themselves in a position to not really care, like, about proving themselves. Not to say that Drake or any of these guys aren't trying, but I don't think they're sitting there in the studio like, fuck, we need to get 500,000 in the first week or anything like that.
No, I think those days, like, bro, the bags are secure. Like, yeah, I don't think those I think I can see a world where like these streaming numbers just go away in like 5 years. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be another way of evaluating music. I don't think it's going to be this, bro.
Yeah, and it's so clear because none of the guys I just mentioned promoted their shit really. So it was like an Instagram.
Like if you really cared about record sales, like you're doing a month of promotion for this album.
Yeah.
Not literally 7 hours before. Yo, album dropping tonight. Get ready. It's like what?
Right.
Like bro, like
yeah.
So yeah, again, everyone go check it out if you haven't already. I do think the numbers for this are going to be pretty impressive though. Like I can see 250.
Yeah, I think that was the projection.
Was it? Okay.
It was like 210 to 230 or something.
Okay, so even that is wild for literally no promotion besides a couple hours before the drop. So
I would say anything below 200 would be a flop by his standards though.
Yeah, could be, dude. But I don't think anyone's gonna hold this album against them. No, which is it's like
if it was CLB and it was that below 200, right, 100%.
Right. The same way with like this, we apply that same energy to like Kanye with Jesus King. It's like you told them to be different. If people hate it, who cares? Like you tried something different, so good for you.
Yeah.
But I know you, before we get out of here and go to the heat, I know you wanted to bring up some Lizzo pushback that she's getting from the media.
Yeah, so she essentially in one of her songs used the word spaz, and I guess people with a certain condition, I forget the name, but spastic behavior. I don't know if cerebral palsy.
Yeah, that's wild though, because like I don't know about you, like in your middle school or high school, but that was like the number one like comeback line that people using each other.
Yeah, like, and it just basically was like, yo, you went wild or crazy.
Yeah, dude, like why'd you spaz it out right now? Like that's crazy that like again in like 10 years a word can get you fucked up.
But the crazy thing is the definition of it is literally being spastic is just being affected by muscle spasms, and I don't think you necessarily need a medical condition for that to happen. Yet she got in trouble for using the word spaz, and it was at that moment I'm like, all right, we're getting to a point where you might as well do a fucking instrumental album and just like moan for 10 minutes or something, because I think the other
issue, you were saying she had to go in, like they had to go in and remove that line from the music.
I think that was a different song, but she essentially apologized from what I understand.
Even that is ridiculous, dog.
I definitely wouldn't have if that was me, just because it's like, all right, like that word has never been offensive. And that's like if you were to fucking rap about, I don't know, breaking someone's ankles, like metaphorically, or how you gonna chase somebody down or some shit, and like a paraplegic gets mad because he doesn't have legs, or like he broke.
Yeah, dude, like when Lil Wayne rapped paraplegic on Carter 3, we were about to give him a Grammy right there and there. Like, yo, how'd you make this rhyme? As opposed to like, cancel this motherfucker, how dare he? Like, man, that's crazy how shit can just shift so quickly, dog.
I think the problem is though, I think it more so happens to I don't want to call her woke by any means, but her audience definitely is like the underrepresented, like
100%.
LGBT crowd, or
that's
people who don't feel like they belong. So she has to fucking tiptoe around all these different groups of people. Like if DaBaby said this, nobody would give a fuck. But like Lizzo is like their Lord and Savior, basically.
I think you hit it right there on the other head, bro. That's what it is, bro. Like when your audience base is that are so fickle and ready to get offended about everything in this world.
Yeah.
You almost have to like, yo, yeah, dude, you gotta fucking Bojangle for them and just make them feel like they're safe at all times, which is fucking seems like an exhausting fucking job.
Yeah. If I read that shit, like, I don't know, my publicist or something was like, yo, you said spaz and you're getting canceled right now, I would be like, shit. Either they need to go fuck themselves or like, I'm never making a song again. Like, what is going on?
What is going on, dude? Yeah, the fact that she apologized is pretty crazy. But again, that is her fan base, bro. Because again, I'm not trying to be a judgy person from afar, but like, I don't like. Do we like? Is Lizzo like? Are people really checking for Lizzo like in the culture? Like, do we even consider her R&B, or is she just like a pop star?
I think she's just a pop star, and she's obviously known for being like
outlandish and like
for overweight women, and body shamers, advocating against that. But I don't think people are really checking for her like that. I think she did become a symbol of like an underrepresented group.
Sure.
And now it's like, she has to watch everything she says because someone in that group's gonna get pissed off eventually.
Yo, but someone in every group is getting pissed off though. That's the thing. Yeah. Like, fuck, man. Like, it gets scary because like we keep saying like these people who get offended, like, bro, you can't get offended for like the most common sense shit. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, I didn't mean it in a very, if like, judge me on my intent. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we're still here 4 or 5 years later of this like cancel culture though. Like all this shit. Like, it's just fuck. Like, we keep saying it's gonna go, and maybe it is slightly going away because like, on Flagrant they had David Portnoy. They were trying to come for him, and he fought back, and he's good to go. Elon Musk, he's fine. Dave Chappelle, they come for him, and he's fine, right? But I know, bro. Like, it just seems like I really hope we can speed up to the point where we're laughing at how like ridiculous some of this fucking like, offense culture really like. It's, bro, come on, like, you're getting offended for everything. I can't keep up with this shit. Like,
yeah, I think, I don't know. I feel like with the existence of Twitter and any of these platforms where like some random anonymous person can talk shit and get a bunch of retweets, as long as that exists, then this will probably never stop. I mean, people were freaking out over the Mac Miller Jack Harlow comparison, which at least from our perspective, I don't know if we necessarily started that, but there was never it wasn't even a comparison, so to speak, of like, hey, is he,
better
just
or
as
whatever,
better than like all the shit he did? It was more so like, can he achieve these heights based on his trajectory now, etc. And people were like flipping a shit over that. Like, I'm sure there's some psychopath out there who would kill for the Mac Miller's discography.
Yeah, dude, you're 100%, dude, 100%. Yeah, dude, wild times, bro. But the fact that she had to apologize, bro, that's one thing. But I hope they don't like go into like her like on the different streaming platforms and like edit that fucking word out of the fucking song, because that'd be crazy.
No,
because that's next level, bro. That's like, I get mad at Kanye when he's like editing his songs like after it dropped already. Like, that'd be next level.
Yeah, I don't get it. But apparently her apology was like pretty tasteful, and she said, I don't know, as a fat black woman, like, she understands how words can have intentional or unintentional meanings, and she basically didn't complain about wokeness and how it's gone too far, so people like respected that. So in a way, this PR move worked in her favor, but it tells me that this won't be the last time, because now what if she says some other shit and then people are like, oh, you're fake, like you said you would never hurt us again, and now this bitch is censoring like 90% of her songs.
But I also feel like you can't go in. I mean, obviously this is a good segue to you, but like, can you even go into the booth or into like writing mode and like, hey, let me just really make sure that nothing here is going to be offended? Because I would think like you let the fucking pen bleed, and then, all right, dude, if I have to edit some shit out that doesn't make sense, but you're not going to take out words because like it might offend someone.
Not really, but then again, like I would never think ever in a million years to myself that the word spaz of all words would have offended someone.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that was my go-to insult back in middle school, bro. Like that was
wasn't even an insult. I thought it was just like, you know, like you wilding out or something. Like
yeah, but I mean, I meant it in an insulting way. Like I'll be perfectly honest. Like if one of my boys was just acting like, but yeah, you're acting wild.
Yeah.
No, hey, let's go fucking ditch third period. I'm like, bro, you spazzing right now, bro. Ain't no way I'm fucking skipping, you know, like something like that. But it was like an insult, you know what I mean? Or just something to check you. But like, I never thought that was like not PC. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that was an appropriate word as opposed to like cursing. You know what I mean?
Right. No, there's a lot of those words. I think the word that I thought was the most harmless was back in middle school or whatever was retarded.
You can't say that at all.
Yeah, until I met people who like had cousins or whatever the case who had mental challenges and
but the thing is like,
that word's not cool.
But what you read out as a definition of spastic is like there's probably are people who literally have like a syndrome with they can't control their nerves, so they're randomly just shaking all the time, right? So maybe they get offended by it, bro. Which again, it's you're entitled to get offended by it, but I'm just like, I don't know if it's like, bro, you know, she's not actually calling someone what you have like to insult you, like it's not. I don't know, man. It's just weird, bro. What other bad words we say back in the day? Dude, I used to say the F word.
Yeah.
Bro, way
F
too much.
Word, just gay itself. Like, obviously just...
Bro, but I'd be at a bar yelling at a TV, like a sports bar. And I'd be like, my boys would be like, bro, we can't. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean we can't say this anymore, bro?
Now that would basically be... It would feel similar to saying... the N word with the ER like in public.
Oh yeah, no, dude.
See what sound.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, dude. Times have changed, bro. And again, I know we all have to play our role, and like, you know, like you gotta play by the rules until you make up your own game. But sometimes this shit is like, bro, everyone's offended by something, bro. Like it's just like try to like look at the intent of the way they said it at least, as opposed to like, oh, this guy's definitely offensive to us, like blah blah blah.
Yeah, and what rubbed me off based on this person's tweet towards her wasn't even necessarily that they were offended. Like, cool, if you're offended, let her know if you're a fan. But at the end of the tweet, they said, you need to do better, like in a super passive aggressive tone. I'm like, bitch, you want me to go through the whole dictionary and like do a survey and figure out which words, you know, offend you or not, just so I can write my raps? Like, especially, or I guess raps, pop raps, whatever.
Yeah.
Especially in a genre where like everything is pretty liberal and playful and, you know, just meant for everyone to not.
Yeah, dude, it's like anthem songs. Like it's like all her songs are almost made to be like in a commercial. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like some kind of female product commercial, bro. So I don't know, bro. Yeah, it's interesting. But again, we kind of brought up about you when you're in the booth. So just give people an update, bro. How's like what song are you working on? Obviously, we dropped Ruckus a couple months ago. I think it was 2 months ago, right?
April. Yeah.
So we're almost in fucking July. So so just like let people know what's going on with you, man.
Yeah, at this point in time, I mean, I've just been cycling through various beats and ideas. I haven't really locked down like that one track where I'm like, oh, this one for sure, like I'm gonna release soon and next. There's some I've started that I've scrapped. There's some that like I'm kind of still working on, but like want to figure out the hook or whatever the case is. But as usual, I never really like to force ideas, especially because it's not like I really have to. But
but you always say like, not to give people too much of behind the scenes, but you always say like, once the hook comes to you, the rest is kind of easy, right?
Yeah, once the hook comes to me, the rest is pretty easy. I think for me, the hook is kind of the most important part because that's what sticks. And it doesn't even have to be like super, super just blatantly catchy and made for radio or anything. It's just, if I don't like the way it sounds or how I'm able to do it with my own vocals, then sometimes I'm just like, I'm not really feeling it. But in most cases, for like all my other songs, like the hook and everything came to me like almost immediately. So that even more so makes me want to take time doing it. Cause as we've talked with other people that we've interviewed, like it just can't be forced. It just doesn't, it's stressful, takes forever. Then you might even not even really like the final result. Whereas the other songs I released, I was like, oh, this is it. Like it's all done.
Yeah.
Might take me a couple days to record it and then send it off, and it's pretty much good to go.
Yeah. All right. Good. Yeah. Definitely don't force it.
Maybe I'll do a house album.
Yeah. Well, just do a track. Just do it like one song, dude.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, I wanted to ask because we haven't spoken about that in a couple of weeks. All right, Matt, dude. Before we get out of here, what's your heat of the week for this episode?
My heat of the week. Damn, I must have been drunk as shit because I added like 5 Drake songs.
To the album, he ate it.
Just
so
like
much.
Angrily added it to my playlist.
Like, fine, I'll listen to this shit, motherfucker.
So I really liked this song 3 a.m. in New Orleans by ASAP Ant and Currency. This song is just really a vibe. I don't know if you're familiar with Currency's catalog, but he tends to rap.
Currency, yes. I never heard of ASAP Ant.
Yeah, Ant. I hadn't heard of him either. I'm assuming he's part of the ASAP mob. He definitely is. And I don't know, the vibe was just super chill, like standard Currency, classical hip hop type jazzy beat. Really dope music video. Actually, that's how I came across it. Decided to give it a chance just because I saw ASAP Ant's name. Had never heard anything from him. Obviously was familiar with Currency, and I don't know, it was a nice break from all the super aggressive trap shit that tends to like end up on these new playlists and stuff.
Bro, I'm so over drill music, bro. It's not even funny. Like,
yeah, like,
I'm so over it, dog. Like,
yeah, it's too much. So this was kind of a nice break from all the fucking murdering and trapping and ops this, op that. It was just like get money, ride around with the top down type of song.
All right, so like almost like hood, relax vibes. Like,
yeah, hood
ride
relax,
through your neighborhood, like windows down, music blast, and just enjoying life. Not like about to circle a block and like take care of your house or some shit. Yeah, basically like that.
So it was a good break from all the noise, you can say.
Okay, I'm excited for that because I really want to. Yeah, I enjoy that as well. I think about all the times I used to hang out in front of my grandma's building in the Bronx and just like have good music on, but it wasn't about like it was like fucking Jagged Edge and like a Nelly song, not like like let's kill like everyone here, which I think is like you know what's weird, bro? Is like even like artists who I fuck with heavy. Like they can see what's happening and then they'll drop a song that's just about killing people. I'm like, bro, like you're not doing this. So you're just doing this to like make more money, which you don't need. Like,
right.
Again, bro, I love Offset, but he dropped a song over the weekend that's like just about him. Like I didn't even like hear the lyrics properly, but the video is just him doing like this. Like, bro, like I'm like, bro, come on, dude. Like that's not your life. Like,
right? Wasn't he like a backup dancer and shit?
He was a backup dancer. I think for Whitney Houston back in the day. Like, bro, like you have a fashion show on HBO Max. Like, what are we talking about here, bro? Like, so yeah.
Not even to say he's soft, but I think they go too far with this like persona.
It's too far. It's like, bro, like
streets.
Yeah, bro. Come on, like, dude, who are you trying to fool with this, man? So that actually throws me off. You know what? Also, because you brought up ASAP Ant. I think I told you I watched the ASAP Rocky episode on Drink Champs. Well, bro, especially now, bro, because I feel like finding quality music is hard, but we get stuck in like, for example, me, like I listened to Baby Keem's album for fucking a month and a half straight because I'm like, this is the only good thing out right now.
Yeah.
Dude, I forget that we have like gems, like just that came out 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So like, I would really encourage all of us, bro, to just go back in your fucking library on Spotify and Apple and just like start listening to some of these fucking albums that when they dropped, you were losing your fucking mind and didn't like, we just stopped listening to it, bro, because some of these albums hold up very well. Like Long Live ASAP is a flawless project, bro. Like One Train, like motherfucker had Kendrick Lamar on 2 songs on that album, like a young No, it's 2 songs on that album. Like, bro, that's crazy. Like,
was Fucking Problems his song?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn.
So think about it. A 24-year-old rapper had a young, before his prime Kendrick on 2 tracks. Like, bro, like it's just, it's crazy. Like, bro, it's crazy. So like, I feel like we have to do more of that, bro, because we get too caught up. Like I do it too. Like, bro, like this is the only thing out. I'll listen to it like 10 times. Everything else sucks. It's like,
right.
Bro, I feel like we got so many gems that we just forget about because like it's always on to the next thing, bro. Like I might pop in like 2 Chainz album this weekend, bro, from like back in the day that he dropped with like just literally the 2 Chainz, like the Virgil cover.
Yeah.
Because like, bro, there's bangers. Like, yo, that song I'm Different. Dude, that was a revolutionary like idea to make a song like that, bro. So and we just move on. Just like, yo, 2 Chainz, he's washed, bro. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, bro, this guy had hits.
Right.
So yeah, we don't have to wait till we're like 40 or 50 to properly go back and like, yo, remember back in our day and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
So
it's a really good point.
Right, because so much
we're always
Cudi,
kind of like chasing a new musical high.
Always, bro. Like I went back and listened to like a Rick Ross album from like 2017, which is only 5 years ago. But like, think about it. Like, we're not even really talking about Rick Ross like that anymore. Yeah. Which is crazy, bro. Like, Rick Ross is probably one of the best rappers, top 10 rappers ever. And we're just like, whatever. Like, who gives a fuck about him? Like, he's fat and rich. Like, no one cares anymore. But whatever. That was like me on my fucking high horse. But dude, for me, had to be a Drake song. There's so many on that fucking album, like that I can fucking throw it on here. I'm gonna go with what did I add to the playlist? Hold on. Let me just make sure I already added this shit. I think it was Massive.
Nice.
Yeah. Like again,
Super
that's just
House one.
The Super House one. Yeah, bro. Let's just go with that one. Was it? Yeah, Massive. Let's go with that one, bro. Like it's just it's the quintessential vibe of the entire album and the vibe that I do think, I don't know about groundbreaking, but it's gonna be the vibe this whole summer. You know, God willing, we don't have fucking inflation go through the roof even more, and we can't even travel anymore. But yeah, I think I think that's the song for me that really makes this album like you look forward for that track. For sure.
I actually really liked Flights Booked.
Flights Booked is good. I like the song also. Something what was it? It's towards the end. Tie That Bins. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that means, but this shit, the song itself is fire. Yeah, again, I just think it's a great body of work. So, again, we'll see how it ages. Because again, like to my point right now, like everything, like everyone's like, all right, what's next? Again, like even like Ice, I think we agreed that Kendrick's album was super dope. And then I think 2 weeks later, we were like, yo, this is aging very well. But even I'm like, right now, like, because dude, I'm in summer mode, bro. I'm in fucking shorts, like I'm just thinking about me in Italy, and I'm like, dude, do I really want to hear that shit? Like when I'm there, like, do I really want to be depressed about how like couples fight and like how my uncle is now my auntie? Like, I don't want to hear this. You know what I mean? Like,
the Blast one, I've heard that a lot in the club since then. I think that one will continue to be a vibe.
Which one?
The Blast one, Die Hard.
Oh yeah. Die Hard, and also the other one, Count Me Out. Like I would hear those 2 tracks, but for the most part, the idea of like not skipping songs, like that's like a heavy album, bro. Again, a classic, right? But just a heavy album for the summer. You know, I'm not gonna be bumping that shit.
I don't think so either. I think I was just super hyped up that he was back.
Yeah,
but I don't see it being super replayable, especially this summer.
Yeah, but again, I just think he just needed to get that shit off his chest and just you know. He'll figure out what the next chapter is. But yeah, bro, great takes. Everyone, as always, comment. Let your friends know about us, bro. Let the people know, though, man, where they can catch us.
Yes, sir. You can catch us at audio-theory.com on all streaming platforms. We have the Spotify and Apple Music playlist, as well as the merch. Go cop you something. I know it's hot depending on where you are, but
inside's cold, bro. Everywhere they got AC inside. That's okay.
It's hot as fuck in the valley in LA, but
is it?
Yeah. But they're thin enough. I feel like they're good because they're thin, but they're
It's not a North Face.
Breathable. Like, yeah. So yeah, copy one. I believe we have a couple potential interviews in the works still.
Yep.
So we'll continue with that trend. Well, otherwise, like, share, comment, donate, do everything you can to support the podcast and tune in every week.
Yeah, dude. Some of the comments have been great, really making our fucking mindset even more. I think stronger. As again, like I know I'm looking at our goals right here of hitting 5K subs. Maybe it does happen, maybe it doesn't happen this year. But comments like the one we've been getting recently about some of like our own episodes, not even an interview, have been really encouraging. So we definitely appreciate the support from you guys listening.
Yeah, 100%.
And watching, because I think we do way more numbers on YouTube than anywhere else. So.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, brother. Love you, man. Stay safe out there. If you see any FedEx or Amazon people, just walk the other way. And we'll talk soon.
For sure.
Peace. Love you, dog. Peace.